What's poppin'? It's your girl Jazzy J. How y'all doing today? Welcome to my channel. If you're new around here, welcome. If not, what is up, Buttercup? Today is Sunday, which means it is my little segment, Manga and a Makeover, where I talk about webcomics while putting my makeup on. And as y'all know, I am still learning in the process, so if you have any tips, tricks, and recommendations for me, go ahead and drop that down in the comments below. Last week, we went ahead and talked about Girl Jock Empress, and that was my very first time doing manga and a makeover, so give me a little bit of slack. It's not like I was able to get too much into the story because I didn't really write anything down, and I didn't write down any notes because I didn't reread the entire thing because actually I don't think I would have had to pay. I don't know why. It was trial run, okay? But we're gonna go forward. Anyway, today we're gonna be talking about the manga, The Beau and the Beast, which can be found on the app Manta. I just happened to come across this story when I was searching on Manta, and very much love it. Like, I very much do. So here's a quick synopsis of The Beau and the Beast. I've become a big, hairy beast. After getting into a car accident, Han-byul wakes up in the body of a princess. But something's wrong. She's doubled in size, grown hair everywhere, and seems to terrify everyone who looks her way. She's become a beast. How will she live on as the cursed Princess Alexa? So right now, they have only gotten through season 1, which is about 42 episodes long, and I'm pretty much gonna take things in stride. I might end up splitting up the season and from one video to another video, because when I was doing the notes and whatnot, it was getting to be pretty long in terms of notes. Like, I was writing a dissertation for this, so I decided we'll see how it goes. And if I feel that the video is getting to be just a tad bit too long, I'll cut it short, and then we'll continue a part 2 next Sunday. But it's Helen. Let's go ahead and get into the video. As you guys already know, I already went ahead and did my little face cleansing thing. I did see some dry patches on my skin, so I went ahead and I used a little bit of a sugar scrub on my face, and I washed that off, and then I went on with my micellar water, my sunblock, and my primer, all of which can be found at very, very cheap places like the dollar store. So the story starts out at a rather fast pace. We automatically jump into Han-byul's life right before she gets into her accident. It turns out that her ex was cheating on her, and out of a flurry of anger, she ran out into the road. She was trying to go someplace else. Like, she's not like she was trying to get hit, but she ran out into the road and got ran over by a truck or a car. She got hit, and she died. That was it. That was the end of her. So immediately after that, I think she has an idea that she died because she wakes up in a body that she is completely unfamiliar with. So when she wakes up, she's in the body of a monster. She has hair, fur, literally all over her body, all over. She wakes up in a completely unfamiliar place. Like, she's in this lavish, extravagant bed, and there's a maid that comes in and checks on her and sees everything's okay, and she's like, oh, I remember that I was just living a life of Han-byul, and I got hit by a truck or a car. I got hit, I died, and now I'm here, and I don't quite understand what in the world is happening. And that's when she realizes that she has been reincarnated. Because she was reincarnated into a body of a person that has already been alive, she goes with the idea that she has memory loss. Because, you know, what else are you supposed to do in that situation? And the maid is like, hey, do you remember everything that's going on? You know, it's been a while since you've woken up. I'm so glad that you're awake. And she's like, yeah, but I don't remember anything. So can you give me a quick rundown of everything that is going on and everything that is happening? Because I don't know. So the maid goes ahead and explains everything. She is the second daughter of the king of the kingdom, Philippe, I think it is. Yes, it's the kingdom of Philippe. And she is the daughter of the second concubine. Don't remember her name, but I remember that she was the second concubine. And that the concubine that gave birth to her is no longer around. Her name is Princess Alexandra, but she goes by the name Alexa. Her mother died roughly when she was around the age of 6 years old. So she really didn't know her mother all too well. Like the main Princess Alexa did not know her mother all too well because she died when she was rather young. She is around the age of 18. No, I think she is exactly the age of 18. And she is currently engaged to a marquis by the name of Belford Harmon, who is captain of the Royal Knights. The maid continues on to tell the princess that she ended up in the villa, which is where she's staying. The villa of the Conetti Villa. My gosh, the Conetti Villa. She was there for vacation around the age of 7, and some rainy night, whenever it was, a witch had came by and asked her to stay the night to take shelter from the rain. The child was like, no, because stranger danger, I'm not going to let a random person in, even though, you know, you're asking shelter from the rain. And the witch ended up cursing her, which is very much like the story of the prince, I forgot his name, in The Beauty and the Beast. So she ends up getting cursed and she is turned into this giant hairy beast. She also gained supernatural powers, like she is super strong and she has overwhelming ability to perform magic, making her an absolute beast on the battlefield. Because her father realized that she was super powerful and was able to take out the enemy forces in like a single go, single-handedly, the king requests her to go out onto the battlefield. And Alexa, the original Alexa, was like, okay, well, this is my duty as princess, so let me go out and let me fight for the kingdom. But in exchange, I want to be engaged and married to the Marquis Belford Hammond. So the king is like, alright, fine. Go ahead with your engagement so long as you continue fighting for the kingdom. That's fine. Turns out the Marquis absolutely despises the princess. I don't know if he's even seen the princess since she turned into a beast. I don't even know if he's met the princess at all. It's possible because it said, the maid said that the original Alexa was actually obsessed with the Marquis of Belfort. So there's no reason as to why they wouldn't have met, but it's very possible that they just didn't meet. You don't know, you know? The maid then says it's also not a secret that Alexa has an older sister. Her name is Ariel. She is the first princess of the kingdom of Philippe. The first princess, Ariel, and her betrothed fiance, wow, her fiance and Ariel were lovers, and it was not a secret. This is not a secret at all. The entire kingdom knows that the second princess and the Marquis are engaged, and the first princess and the Marquis are having an affair. Out in the open. The king knows. Everybody knows. Everyone knows. And so Hamdul, who is now Alexa, is like, I'm sorry, what? My what is with who? And I, what? Excuse, what? So she decides, you know what? I don't need him. I'm gonna call off the engagement. But first, she's gonna go through an entire polishing routine because, you know, she's not gonna walk around like a beast. So the next few episodes, she spends time like waxing the hair off of her body, and she fixes her hair because it's like her actual hair on her head was like mangy and it had been unkempt and it wasn't taken care of for like years. It wasn't taken care of. And the maids were like, are you sure you want to do this? Oh, you know, it's fine. And she's like, no, I've been sitting here, I've been suffering for all this time. I don't want to suffer anymore. I want to do this. And so the maids get all teary-eyed and they're like, okay, you know what, we're going to help you. We're going to be your backing. They changed the diet. Apparently, Ariel, Princess Ariel, was the one who was managing the food that Alexa was eating and was managing the funds that was going into the villa. And Ariel had kept the villa on like this high fiber, meaty diet, like high fatty diet, just lots of meat and lots of carbs. And Alexa was like, no, this is changing. I'm eating healthy. There's no reason I should be eating like this every single day. Of course, some of the chefs that were working there were like, well, we gotta tell Princess Ariel, she has to know that, you know, she's making these decisions and she shouldn't be making these decisions, and Ariel's the one that's running the thing. And Alexa's like, alright, cool, guess I got some spies in here that I need to take care of. And she's like, look, you work for me. You are here to take care of me. Not Ariel. You're not listening to her. You are not listening to anybody else. You are listening to me. You are here for me. Okay, let's get that real clear. And then she continues on. She changes her, she rips off all the fur. She changes her hair. She has a strict regimen for eating, and she starts exercising. Like, she becomes built. Not like bodybuilder built, but she's built. She's well taken care of now. You finally see her face, and you finally see it, and she's stunning. Like, she's stunning. And she's like, alright, now we are ready to go out in person. And of course somebody goes back and tells Alexa, and Alexa's, somebody goes back to tell Ariel, and Ariel's like, I'm not liking that, I'm not liking that at all. Alexa is like, okay, I'm also, as well as doing all these other things to maintain my physical beauty and my physical appearance, I'm also going to learn about the finances and the history and everything that is going on, because I need to be able to take care of myself and manage myself. And she finds out that not only is the money being incorrectly handled, but a lot of it is going towards food, which it doesn't need to be going towards food. So, again, word travels about that. Ariel finds out. She is very shocked. Ariel goes to meet Alexa because she wants to know what exactly has happened. So Alexa lets her in. She's like, alright, what do you want? Why are you here? What is going on? Yada yada yada, the whole 9 yards, you know? She sees Alexa for the first time in quite some while, and she doesn't believe that it's her sister. She's not seen her sister since she was a very young girl without being covered in fur and looking like an absolute monster. And Alexa's like, no, this is me. This is me. I broke the curse. I don't know if she actually broke the curse. All I know is she just ripped all that fur off, but I broke the curse. And yeah, you're gonna start respecting me now, because you're gonna start respecting me now. And Ariel's like, no, I don't believe you. So she's like, alright, fine, I'll prove it. And she breaks a cup. Like, she sees a cup and she touches it and the thing just shatters. And she's like, oh, okay, I believe you. I don't know of anyone else who can touch a cup and watch it shatter. And Ariel's like, yep. I mean, Alex is like, yep, that's me, that's my name, don't wear it out. All of a sudden, Ariel's like, oh my gosh, I missed you, I loved you, you know, I really want to be here for you. And Alexa's like, you had all this time to be here for me, and you're with the man I'm supposed to marry. Yeah, no, I don't believe that for a second. I do not believe for a single second that you are here for me. You are here for another reason, and I need to figure out what exactly it is. So, of course, you know, Alexa's gonna stay wary about Ariel, but they, you know, they live their life, they continue on, time goes on. And there's finally a party. I can't remember for what, doesn't really matter. But there's finally a party that is being thrown, and Alexa is like, I'm gonna go to this party. I need to go to this party because you guys have not seen me since I was a little beast. And typically, every single royal person, any aristocracy is supposed to have a coming of age party at the age of 16. But because she was a beast, that didn't happen for Ariel. I mean, for Alexa, oh my gosh, words. That didn't happen for Alexa. So now is her time to have the coming out party. Alright, great. So she comes out and Ariel sends her a crap ton of dresses and is like, hey, why don't you wear one of these? They look really nice, I think you'll like them. And they're like these gaudy dresses that are so ugly. And there's lace everywhere and there's frills everywhere, and it's like, why? I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't like this. It's not flattering on my body. Do you hate me? Because I think that you genuinely hate me. And Alexa's like, okay, you know what? That's fine. Since you don't want to do this and you don't want to help me and take care of me, that is fine. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna get my own tailor. And so she does, and she goes and she gets her own tailor, and she's like, this is the things that I want, this is how I want you to design it, yada yada yada, XYZ. And the tailor's like, alright, so he makes the dress. And it's absolutely phenomenal. Like, she looks incredible in the dress. And nobody was expecting it because, you know, she was originally a beast. So she shows up to this party and she's looking flawless, like she's just flooring everybody. She walks up to the king and she's like, hi, father. Do you remember me? I'm your daughter. You know, the one that you abandoned in a villa somewhere and you haven't seen for the past, oh, I don't know, 10 years? Something like that? Yeah, it's me. Hi. And the king, of course, is flabbergasted because he's like, didn't know that was you, didn't know that was my child, I didn't realize you look like that, yada yada yada. He still thinks that Alexa is very much a pushover. I don't know what it is, but the king is trash. He's absolute gutter trash. just saying. The party continues on and she eventually meets her brother, and her brother is the only prince, which means he's technically heir to the throne. Oh right, before she meets her brother, she actually sees a man off in the distance with very black hair, a very solemn appearance, and just kind of standing off in the distance. That's when she eventually meets her brother, and her brother is like, yo, be careful of him. That is the Duke. His name is Grand Duke Velkalon, something like that. Vel. We're gonna go with the name Vel. You know, be careful of him. He is half demon. Half human, half demon. He's also our male lead. He's our main character for the man. And the princess is like, well, why? What has he done? You know, there's got to be something that he's done to warrant you, you know, feeling afraid of this man. And he's like, no, not really. Just be wary of him. And Alexa's like, yeah, so I see that you have an inferiority complex. Clearly. And you have no idea what to do, and you are taking it out on this man that probably doesn't give a damn about you. And then you're trying to tell me to avoid him. I'm not gonna do that. Which is fine, I agree, because the man is beautiful. He's very beautiful. The brother also says that, oh, he's cursed, so keep your distance from him. She's like, alright, you know what, fine. I see that you're a brat, I really don't care, but if that's what you want me to do, then I'll keep my distance. It's fine. So the party goes on, and of course drama happens. Ariel brings her little posse of royals, aristocrats, whatever, to inadvertently mess with Alexa and try to knock her back down into a pedestal that she doesn't need to be knocked back down to, because she's been trying to live her best life. And Alexa puts everybody in their place because, well, she's a boss. She's a boss babe. She also, the Hanbyul, who is now in the body of Alexa, of course, officially meets for the first time her engaged, which is Marquise Belford. And she's like, you know what? I understand this is the first time that you are seeing me without, you know, being a beast. And I want to let you know that I am officially breaking off the engagement. You and Ariel are free to run around and have as much fun as you could possibly have. I want nothing to do with you. And Ariel is, well, shocked, because she's like, I figured that you would want to stay with your man even though you knew that I was with your man. And Marquise Belford would try to stay with you as well, and she's like, nope, I want nothing to do with you anymore. You two deserve each other. Have a nice life. And she walks off. And then she's spending her time out in the balcony. She wants to go get some fresh air, so she's spending her time out in the balcony, and she's like, you know what, I'm tired of this. I don't want to be treated like this anymore. I'm also a little bit afraid, but I'm gonna go ahead and live a life, because Alexa, you didn't live your life when you were supposed to. You had the chance to live your life and you didn't take the opportunity to live your life. So guess what? I'm going to live your life now. So she's screaming this out to the heavens out in the balcony, and supposedly nobody's supposed to be able to hear this. And while she's minding her business, doing her thing, she starts to fall off of the balcony. So guess who comes to the rescue? That's right, Vel! Vel comes to the rescue because he's the main lead. He's the male lead, so. She looks at him. She gets flustered because she thinks he's absolutely gorgeous, which he is. And she runs off. So she says thank you, but then she runs off. And the party is kind of finished up because nobody really gives a damn except for, you know, aside from the female lead. Time goes on, and there is a tradition that goes on that is a hunt. The royal family has a bunch of aristocrats and some other people go on a hunt. And one of the traditions that happens during the hunt is when a man who is supposed to be hunting does not have a partner, which is a quote-unquote supporter or whatever, he ends up getting penalized. And this year, every single hunter has a supporter. And apparently it is a rule, well, there's always been a thing, that the royal party and anyone who's, you know, like a count or a duke or whatever, doesn't really get involved either. Because there's no reason to. There's always somebody penalized, and that's what they want to see. They want to see somebody penalized. So guess what? They say, okay, you know what? For this year, because I want something to happen, and they want to pick on Vel, they decide, we're going to be involved in the hunt this year as well. Because why not? Why not? Everybody, all the women want to pair with the Marquis, who was the one that was left out, and the Marquis, the Prince, and who was it? Vel. The Prince automatically has a partner. The Marquis, he technically doesn't have a partner, but everybody offers up to be his partner, and the one that is left out is Vel. And of course, that's what the Prince and the King are banking on, because they don't like Vel. Because he is scary. He's a big scary man, and they don't trust him. So Princess Alexa is like, I'll partner with you. And they're like, no, you can't partner with him. And she's like, why? Is there a reason as to why I cannot partner with him? Is there a reason I can't support him? No? No, you're just saying, okay. Okay. Well, here's the thing. I'm partnering with him. Have fun. And then they go off on to their hunt, and Vel goes his direction, and Alexa goes her direction. As we are watching Alexa go off and do her thing and try to catch monsters, but her goal is to come back with the bigger game than the king, because she wants to, well, she wants to obliterate the king and be like, well, you suck and you lost to your daughter. Which I would also do. If given the chance, I would very much also do that. She overhears some other aristocrat men talking about how they planted a trap and they want to watch Vel fall into the trap. And she's like, no, no, no. Not on my watch. You're not about to do that. So she goes, she confronts them, of course. She jumps on them and she beats them up and she's like, where is it? What are you doing? I'm going to stop you. Because she's supporting Vel and she's like, you're picking on this man for absolutely no reason other than a curse that you don't fully understand and because you feel inferior to him. So she beats them up, leaves him, and goes off to find Vel to warn him about the trap. She goes off to look for the trap. Well, she finds the trap and then gets stuck in the trap, which is like a swamp trap or something like that. Like, she immediately starts sinking into quicksand and she can't get out. And along comes Marquis Belfort, who is there to rescue her. I'm pretty sure that was by coincidence though. Like, he was very surprised in seeing her. He was not expecting to see his ex-fiancée stuck in a mud pit. Just kind of, hey, I'm here. Can you help me? You know, it's not exactly every day that you're going on a hunt and seeing the person you used to be engaged to in a pit. So he's like, alright, cool, I'll go ahead and rescue you. So he does, and she's like, alright, thank you. Have fun with the rest of the hunt. But before she can walk off, that's when Vel comes to be like, hey, is everything good? Is everything okay? Yeah? Alright. Perfect. Just making sure everything's good. And she's like, alright, well, thanks, Marquis. I'm gonna go off with the person that I am currently supporting in this hunt. And Marquis is like, alright, well, I guess that's fine. For some reason, there's like this animosity towards Vel from the Marquis, and it's like, weren't you cheating on your fiancée? You were cheating on her with her sister. The whole country knew. And you have the audacity to get mad at the man that she chose over you. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. I'd be like, oh no. Oh no, sweetheart. That is not something that we are doing. No. And no. I will end your life. I will end your life. You're gonna sit here and tell me that. No. No. Not happening. So, of course, Vel feels bad because he's like, hey, the last time I saw you, you ran away, you know, well, I'm sorry if I scared you. He's so used to people being terrified of him. And Alexa is like, no, I'm sorry. It's not that I was afraid. I was actually very much embarrassed. I was grateful for you for saving me, but I was embarrassed in the manner of that of the way it happened. I was embarrassed. So it's nothing that you did per se. It was just how I was feeling in the moment. And he's like, oh, alright. And so they're now on good terms and they're having fun and they're laughing, they're joking, they're giggling. Everything's going very well, and the next thing you know, out of the blue, they get attacked by monsters. And it's like, where the hell did these monsters come from? So they're fighting, and then that's when the princess, that's when Alexa realizes that there are still people at the camp, and she needs to go back to the camp to make sure that everybody is fine and everything is going well, because some people could very much die in that situation. She's like, I'd rather not have people dead on my watch, so let me go ahead and get them and find them, which is absolutely fair. I don't see anything wrong with wanting to do that. So she goes back to find them, and lo and behold, they are, you know, being attacked by monsters. Go figure. And she starts attacking them and attacking the monsters and helping them, and the whole night she rescues them. She rescues all of them, and then, well, originally she was hesitant to leave Vel because she didn't want him getting hurt. Understandably, I wouldn't want my future husband getting hurt either. So she's like, no, wait, I don't want to leave you. He's like, no, go, I'll be fine, I'll take care of this, and then I'll catch up with you. She's like, alright, cool. So that's when she goes and she rescues everyone else. And then eventually Vel catches up to her, and he helps out a bit to kill off the rest of the monsters, and the whole day is saved, and everyone's like, yay, thank you, Alexa, we really appreciate it, you know, we appreciate what you do. Because technically speaking, because she's been in the war, it's like so many wars, she has an official title of being like a commander. Like, she has a title. They're like, yeah, thank you, we appreciate this very much. Is there nothing that we can do? You know, without you, we would have died. And she's like, Vel also saved you guys. Do you really think it's appropriate for you to only thank one person out of two of us that were really here to help you and make sure that you guys didn't die? And they're like, oh, well, you know, it's the... She's like, no, you're going to start treating him like a human being, because even though he may be technically half demon, he is still half human, and he deserves that respect. So they're like, all right, fine. So they thank him reluctantly, but they do thank him. And it turns out that the royal family fled. They were terrified and they left. And they pretty much left all of their soldiers to be there and die. And some of these monsters, like, you would think that these are smaller monsters. Like, no. These are some hefty monsters. These are the size of buildings, easily the size of buildings. And they had to be rescued by the princess because they thought that everybody else had abandoned them and they were just going to simply die there. And that didn't end up happening because of Alexa and Vel. So Vel and Alexa are talking, and Alexa realizes that there's actually something stuck onto the saddle of Vel's horse. And it was a little satchel. Had no idea what the satchel was, but they took it, and Alexa's like, do you know what this is? And he's like, not really, but I knew it was there. And she's like, okay, and you didn't put it there. Like, nah, I didn't put it there. So she's like, alright, cool. They go back to Vel's place because they don't want to go directly back to the kingdom. And they meet one of Vel's servants who's very, very young, don't remember the backstory, don't really care. But he looks at the satchel, because Vel gives it to him, and he's like, oh yes, this is a monster attracting satchel. It is something that acts as a pheromone that mimics the pheromones of female monsters to attract male monsters. Go figure, that's why everyone was attacking, because they were going after specifically Vel, and everyone else got within the crossfire of it, but they weren't going to tell anybody because somebody had planted that on Vel. They figured out that the person who originally made it was a traveling merchant, but that he was no longer in the city, so there's no point in tracking him down. And Alexa really didn't care about that all too much anyway. She was more concerned with finding the person that bought the satchel and put the satchel onto Vel, because that's what pretty much matters. Oh, time goes on, a few days have passed, actually a substantial amount of time has passed, and the king has been asking for the presence of Alexa, and Alexa's been like, no, multiple times. But then in one particular time, she's like, you know what? He's gonna keep asking. It's gonna keep happening. So let me go ahead and go to see what this damn king of mine, my father, wants. And so she goes off. She goes to see the king, and it's him in his office and like two other counts or viscounts or dukes or whatever it is. Two of his cronies that are like, they are there for him. They will back him. They are for the king. And she's like, I'm here, what do you want? What's going on? What's happening? And the king is like, so we really appreciate everything that you have been doing, but and I love you, and I say this from the deepest of my heart, but over in the western border of our kingdom, there are monsters that have been attacking, and we really need you to go. And she's like, and he's like, so you're gonna go and you're gonna fight? And she's like, I'm not going to fight. And he's like, yeah, we kind of need you over there. You know, you've always done it in the past. She's like, well, congratulations, you're looking at a new Alexa. I'm not going. I'm no longer going to fight and put myself in danger for a country that really doesn't give a damn about me. Why should I? And he's like, well, you know, this is something, you know, that's really important. She's like, I really don't want to hear that from a man who ran away and fled in the face of a monster and left everybody else there to die. I don't want to hear that from you. And in fact, I am in the pursuit of finding love and finding happiness for myself because I deserve that and I'm a princess. And why are you sending your daughter to go off and fight in a war? Yes, I may have done that in the past. That was the old Alexa, and she was very much starved for affection. And the slightest amount of affection that the father showed towards Alexa was willing to go off to war and potentially die just to get a, you were good. You were good. That could not be me. That would not be me. You want me to go off and die and all you're gonna do is give me a pat on the head? Thank you. And then push me back to, I'm sorry, what? No, not gonna be me. Not gonna be me. But anyway, and the new Alexa is like, no, I'm not doing that either. And they're like, but we really need you. And she's like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to. So then the cronies step in and they're like, so, but this is your duty. You are the princess and you are supposed to protect the kingdom. She's like, no, as a princess, I'm supposed to be pampered and I'm supposed to be spoiled and I'm supposed to live a very happy life and continue the kingdom. Because I am a woman. There is no reason as to why a woman should be out on the battlefield unless she absolutely must be out on the battlefield. So why are you forcing me to go onto the battlefield? Why don't you send your own sons to do that, you know? The people who are sitting there cowering in your homes because they're afraid. They can go out and they can fight. Or you guys can go out and fight. But I'm not fighting anymore. And they're like, well, we need you to do this. She's like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. That's not happening. And in fact, here's what. If you do want me to go out and fight, I'll go. For monetary compensation. You will pay me. You will pay me 2,000 gold per monster that I defeat. How about that? And so they're like, 2,000 gold is like the yearly salary of a regular soldier. And she's like, yeah, 2,000 per monster every single time I go out to fight. She's like, so long as you abide by those rules, then yeah, I'll be glad. I gotta take care of myself because you're not gonna do it, so I gotta take care of myself. And she's like, all right, well, this has been nice, gentlemen. And she leaves. I'm just like, yes. Yes, this is what we like. This is the type of confidence that I want to see. From any woman, anywhere. I'm like, oh, so you see that somebody's taking advantage of me? Ask for monetary compensation and upcharge it. By an ungodly amount. Watch them. Watch them. I don't have to. You're not going to take care of me? I will. What can you do? So she leaves. And then the king goes ahead and he summons Vel. And he's like, hey, I know that you have, that you're developing a connection with my daughter. And we really need her to fight. So can you convince her to go and fight for the country? And he's like, no. I don't know what you thought this was, but I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to force her to go and fight for this country. Why the hell would I do that? I would rather fight to protect her. And I don't like you because you don't like me for absolutely no reason. So what you can do is you can send that prince who is very cowardly because he needs to grow up and he needs to learn how to run a country anyway. And right now I see that he's not going to make it very far. So you can send him out to do the fighting and you're not going to send your daughter and I'm not going to force her to go. We done here? Good. I'm leaving. Have a nice day. That's it. The king's like, well, we're screwed. This is the end of us. And I'm like, yes, this is how you put people in their place. I am enjoying this. I am thoroughly enjoying this. So the female lead, so Alexa and Vel are back at Vel's place, and typically, originally Vel had planned to go back home. I can't remember specifically where he was, but he wasn't in, like, the capital where the palace was. And Alexa's like, I know that you're gonna be leaving soon. And he's like, you know, I was gonna leave, but I have some more things that I need to take care of. Well, we all know as readers that Vel is sticking around because he wants to be with Alexa longer, like he doesn't want to leave her. He says that I'm here. There's a beautiful flower that I want to study a little bit more, so I'm gonna stick around for just a little bit longer. And Ariel's like, well, okay, I'm glad. You know, I'm glad I was getting to know you. I really do want to continue to get to know you. Yada yada yada. They're out, they're having tea in the garden, and they're having a good old time, and next thing you know, Ariel walks along. She comes along out of nowhere, and she's like, hi, how are you? It's very nice to meet you. I wanted to meet you for some time now. Da 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 da. And Alexa's like, so what do you have to do with me and Vel? What business do you have? And Ariel's maid is like, you cannot use his name. That is beneath you. That is for the lower class aristocracy. How dare you? And Vel's like, mind your manners. I told her to call me that. I want her to call me by my name. And I call her by her name because that is the type of relationship that we have. So, yeah, you're not gonna sit there and talk to her like that. And the maid is like, oh, well, you know, I'm sorry. He's like, no, no. You're not gonna talk to her like that. And Ariel's like, no, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. I will punish my maid. I will make sure that she is educated properly. She shouldn't have done that. She spoke out of turn. And Belle's like, why are you apologizing to me? You need to apologize to Alexa because your maid was the one that told Alexa. And Ariel's like, yes, of course. I'm so sorry, Alexa. I didn't mean for this to happen. Is there anything I can do to make it up to you? Oh wait, no, she didn't say that. I'm just kidding. What she said. She's like, I'm so sorry. You know, I didn't mean for this to happen. I hope that you will forgive this. I hope that you will forgive. You know, I've always been concerned about you, and I know that you may be feeling a little bit lonely over here. So I just wanted to be the good big sister. And Alexa's like, I'm sorry, what? What? No. And originally, Ariel, well, the first time that Ariel had walked up, she was like, hey, you know, I want to go ahead and invite you to some tea. She was trying to invite Vel to have some tea. And Vel was like, nah, I'm actually here with Alexa. I'm good. And then when she tried to apologize, again, she's like, you know, I'm so sorry, but, you know, I want to invite you to some tea. And he's like, no, like, so Alexa's peeping this. She's like, so you mean to tell me that I was originally engaged to this other man. You went off and you stole this man. Now that I'm with another man and I'm happy, now you feel the need to break up with that old man and come after my new man. What is wrong with you? You don't want my men. You want me to be unhappy, and I have a problem with that. I have a very big problem with that. I just want you to know. Okay? And Bella's like, you know, this has been nice, but I really need to go. I have to be on my way soon, so I'm going to head in early. And he takes Alexa. He's like, all right, Ariel, it's been real. Deuces. And they walk off. And Ariel's like, you know, I'm sorry. Alexa's like, yeah, I know that you had to leave off early. And he's like, oh no, I don't have to leave. I really don't have to go anywhere. But I didn't want to talk to her anymore. And she's like, oh. Well, okay. I'm just saying, yes, this is how a man turns away a woman. Like, I don't have time for you. I have time for her, but I don't have time for you. And don't talk to me again. Oh god. Oh, Ariel's just kind of left being in her feelings. She's just in her feelings now. Which I'm like, good, be in your feelings. Be salty. Be salty. Because who are you? Who are you to come and take my man? Not once, but twice you try to take my man. The first time it worked. The second time? No. And now you're going to sit there upset. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I think that my batteries dying. I hope you guys like this up to this point. I will actually have to break it up a little bit farther than I intended because it's going on an hour. We're recording here and it's going to be a little bit. But anyway, if you guys like this video, go ahead and leave me a like. Go ahead and turn on the bell notification so that you know when I post another video. I will be continuing this on a part 2 going on next Sunday. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and follow me on all of my social media. I am __JazzyJ on all of my social media, except for Twitter. They don't allow me to do that, so I should just be JazzyJ on there. Possibly Twitch as well. And I will be continuing on the story next week. So if you liked it, if you want to see other stories like this, go ahead and drop that down in the comments below. But until then, I'll see you next time. Bye!